In an interview with Representative Sharon of Maine, we gleaned insight into a variety of governmental policies regarding prescription drug pricing. Her own Maine Prescription Plus program is an example of collective bargaining, a drug purchasing tool that allows larger groups of consumers to negotiate drug prices with pharmaceutical companies.
Maine's actually doing that in two ways. One is that it has something called the Sovereign States Purchasing Alliance, where the state has teamed up with a number of other states, including, I believe, Iowa. Vermont is part of it. I think might be Utah even, and they are jointly going out, to purchase drugs, have sort of a joint preferred drug list, although there can be some variations on it.
Representative Treat had nothing but praise for President Obama's comparative effectiveness research, touching on academic detailing and increased education of those prescribing drugs.
I think it's generally the right way to go. I mean, one of the things that I've personally been involved in as a state legislator, and also the group that I run has been very interested in promoting, is something we call academic detailing or prescriber education, which really takes advantage of comparative effectiveness information and tries to get it out to the prescribers so that they aren't just getting information from one party, generally the drug company, that is actually only touting the most recent drugs.
Despite Obama's allocation of $1.1 billion to comparative effectiveness research, those doing the research don't have any legislative or oversight authority.
Because, right now it's like the different medications are really just evaluated against, a placebo, and that's not a really very good way of figuring out whether it's the best treatment. And they're also not really evaluated against, non-drug alternatives.
The U.S. patent system, while seemingly profitable for pharmaceutical companies, gives these companies virtually unbridled control over drug pricing. Representative Treat points to other possible systems.
Encouraging and promoting innovation and research than the patent model we have right now. And, for example, Senator Bernie Sanders from Vermont has a bill that is, based on this sort of prize model where there's a certain, very large amount of money that's out there that companies can sort of compete for, that are in fact innovating, so that you don't put it all on the back of, the patent system, which kind of encourages, it allows, it promotes the system of, having these monopolies that go on for many decades.
Changing the U.S. healthcare system is complicated because the system itself is overly complicated. What can we possibly do?
Look at all of these things as kind of very complicated workarounds when we could be doing it in a very straightforward manner and just regulating the prices. And if the issue is then creating, making sure there's innovation and research, then let's focus on that and figure out how to do that. But start from scratch.
While many pharmaceutical companies argue that drug price regulation would stymie innovation, Treat argues that it's not big pharma that leads in innovation.
Where is innovation coming from? It's actually not these giant big drug companies, but it is a lot of these biotechs, and basically the big companies are buying up the little biotechs.
In fact, with the National Institutes of Health investing billions of dollars in biopharmaceutical research yearly, much of pharmaceuticals innovation is rooted in taxpayer money.
Basically said, hey, if our university, is part of spawning a really good idea that gets patented, and then they try to sell that drug back to our Medicaid program, then we should get some special deal.
But maybe the real problem driving up drug costs is society as a whole.
Americans just think that you should